We have with us Mr. Vishal Bajpai, co-founder and CEO, SecureThings. SecureThings focuses on the automotive sector in a big way.
Yes.
So what all automotive vehicles are you securing?
So currently we are looking at passenger cars, commercial vehicles. We are also looking at bikes, electric bikes. We are also working on electric vehicles at the charging stations. So these are the current one that we are trying out. Though our solution or our focus is that entire automotive ecosystem, that we are exploring the cybersecurity issues with the charging station. That in the using that it can attack the electric vehicles. We are also looking at the connected tractors and watercrafts. So these are the some of areas that currently we are going to work on in addition to the some of the vehicles we are working right now. If you look at these different vehicles, their architecture is different. Their probably the how the hacker would see them is different, but ultimately the what makes it kind of hackable or the problem is it's same. So the stack what we have is like it's a generic stack that can protect or the that can protect those devices from any the cyber attack. Like it's in the same way that those across different devices.
So if somebody subscribes to your service,
Yeah.
so then you give them regular updates so that the vehicle is secure proof, or
Yes. So like that is a part of the security, because it's not like one time you provided the solution, but you have to be aware that if there is something that you need to provide the update, that you should do it. And that is another the solution what we have is that providing the proactiveness to the solution. So like we have these our protection solution that runs on the edge side on the device, but we have cloud based our analytics engine or the proactive analytics system that looks at the that is integrated with external threat intelligence centers, that it keeps identifying if there are some new vulnerabilities, and our analytics engine, it identifies if the devices are prone to those new vulnerabilities. Then it can provide the information to the analyst, and they can identify what if some updates are required to some selected vehicles. That is our analytics engine. It can identify, and then we can provide those the updates to the devices to keep it always secure.
but hackers will always feel happy when they hack a particular vehicle.
Yes.
So you cannot stop that.
Yes.
So how quickly do you come up with the solutions so that once the hack is being performed,
Yeah.
how regular these updates come so that further damage cannot be done?
So we are talking about two things. One is that some of the vehicles, those are your monitoring, where the solution is deployed. Like for those vehicles, we keep checking that the behavior, that what is the communication is going on, whether it is their network layer or their internal network layer. And if we find any unusual behavior, then we just provide that information to our analytics system, and it can checks that, and if it finds some unusual behavior, it can provide that to our analyst. They can find the those security patches required, then it can quickly provide that to the vehicle. The other way that what we are talking about is that some vulnerability, let's say if on the vehicle it is using a certain stack, that is like we found the vulnerability not from the vehicle that we are basically managing, but those issues are found using some other devices like Bluetooth stack. The same the module that is deployed onto the vehicle, same the Bluetooth stack could be deployed on any other device, right? And if those new vulnerabilities are found, and if it is being reported, and if we get those using our external threat intelligence centers, that integration, we identifies those vulnerability, and then we through our correlation engine we can identify that what these new vulnerability could impact these particular subset of vehicles, and then we capture those information about those vehicles and the new vulnerabilities, and using our security operations center we identify that what is the update is required, and then we can provide the immediate update. So it is like based on whenever if we see that something is required to be provided to make it more secure, we do it.
So you provide cyber security as a product, or you provide cyber security as a service to automobile companies?
Sure. So it's a combination, like because the product without providing a service is not complete. When I say that the cyber security solution that goes to the vehicle, it's a product that this is what we provide, and then we provide our analytics solution or the security operations center that we offer as a service that can keep all your vehicles always keep monitoring, and if it is required to be provide new updates to make it secure or make it proactive way, that is a service that we can provide.
SecureThings is an Indian company, or is it a US based? And are you also providing solutions to automobile companies outside India?
Yes. So SecureThings is based out of California, and we have Indian subsidiary based out in Pune. Right now, we are working with the different OEMs and tier 1 suppliers across globe. We are working with the tier 1 supplier and OEMs based in India. We are working with the US market, and we are also working with some of the European based OEMs through our US based or India based teams.
Are there any standards with respect to automobile, with respect to cyber security, or is it for other products? So you is it the standards are the same with respect to other products, or is there anything extra that you have for automobile segment?
So as of now, if you see that different the governments, they have provided the guidelines, the cyber security guidelines. If I talk about the USA, then NIST has provided a certain guideline for the automotive, like you should have like defense in depth, like multi-layer solution. Idea is that like one layer protection is not enough, so that is one. Second thing is that you should have a mechanism that if something has happened, then how fast that you can identify that, and how fast you can prevent it. Third thing is that how you can spread that information to the other vehicles, so that the attack would be localized. It should not spread to the other vehicles. So these are the guidelines. This is provided, and similar guidelines is provided by the UK government. And in fact, like based on these principles, in the UK, the last year in December, they published the cybersecurity standards, the guidelines for the OEMs. So our solution, if we can say that it follows the same guidelines, our cybersecurity solution that goes within the vehicle, it's multi-tier solution. It's based on machine learning solution, so that it learns the behavior and identifies those patterns, and then using that it provides a protection. And our cloud-based analytics, then it basically covers the other parts of those guidelines, where it provides the proactiveness to the solution, so that we can always be one step ahead of like what if new vulnerabilities are found, or if like anything happens, some attack happens onto the vehicle, how quickly we can take it, how we can provide to our framework and the operation center, and we can analyze it, and then we can do the remediation as early as possible.
In India, there are two cars which are internet enabled. One is the Kia Seltos and the other is MG Hector. So are you providing solutions to these?
So we are not just providing to these vehicles, though we are in discussion with one of them. We had a discussion. As of now, we are not working with these guys, but these are not the only two vehicles. when we talk about the security aspects, it is not just the internet connectivity. Internet connectivity makes life simpler for the hacker, right? But if someone gets access to the vehicle, like your wiring harness, your other modules could also be used to attack the vehicle. Plus, when we see the, you have a vehicle, you use the remote key to open the vehicle. That is also connectivity. You have the Bluetooth pairing. When you pair your phone with the car, that is also connectivity. So yes, like these two new vehicles, they are coming up. Some good features, that there is a lot of features are there, but some limited way the cars what we already have in the Indian market, that is also connected, and that is makes it prone to attack remotely. But if we talk about, like the if someone gets a physical access, they are equally critical. You can understand that you send your car to the service station. What if, like there is some rogue service technician who has the access to your vehicle? Maybe he can just put something onto your those device, and that can be act as like sleeping malware. It can be activated a certain time and do the same damage that as we are talking about the connected vehicles. Connected vehicles just like makes life easy for the hacker, so that it can use those channels to do remote attacks. But the other cars, we should not think that those are not secure, or they cannot be attacked.
So how many brands or how many companies have you signed up with respect to security?
So we have working with quite a few, like based in India, in Europe based. We are in discussion with a couple of large OEMs in US. Unfortunately, I cannot take the name.
No, I'm just talking about the number part. How many brands or how many companies are you already associated with?
So there are 3-4 big brands that we are currently working on, and then there are a couple of more there we are in discussion, along with some of tier 1 suppliers that we are working to provide the security.
One last question was with respect to what precaution that vehicle owners need to take.
So one precaution is that, like what we have found is that there is a unawareness about the security. That security is something that should be thought through, and they should thought through during the design phase. And whenever they are designing, they should give an emphasis on the security, and then they take it as a part of security. That's the basic thing. Otherwise, you should look at the entire threat modeling, that how are the somebody can enter it, or what makes the things vulnerable, and then those are the things that would be good to identify, that what security measures we should have in the vehicle.
Thanks.